2,500 square meters, 240 free-range hens, about 10 hours of work per week, and a net income of 1,200 euros per month. If you give me 5 minutes today, I'll explain this agricultural business model for raising hens for egg production in this style. Let's create a business plan together and start now. Hi everyone, I'm Matt the farmer. Hope you're all well. Raising chickens on your own farm, free range in the middle of an olive grove, producing your own eggs and selling them to your customers, I think that's everyone's dream. It was my dream too, but I never did it. Why? Because Italian law still imposes a series of very strict and very complex regulations, which in the end don't really allow you to economically implement a system like that. Also, sometimes the biggest problem is knowing all the regulations and understanding what the right answer is. So what was once my dream came to a halt. Today I'm here in the hills of Lake Bolsena to meet an innovative startup that has tackled this topic from every angle. So they worked on designing and building a high-tech chicken coop. To ensure the hens have an optimal life, to maintain the highest biosecurity standards, but above all, to reduce the amount of human labor, since managing 240 hens usually requires about an hour a day. At the same time, they worked on all the regulations and documentation needed to start and manage a farm like this. So you end up with all the documents and manuals you need, and you only have to worry about your actual chicken farm.
The innovative startup is called Le Uova di Casa. You can see it behind me in the logo on the mobile cart we designed. We are a group of consultants, 3 partners who provide agricultural consulting to farms. Our clients are farms. Running this kind of farm and producing eggs is not difficult. The problem we faced was the permitting side, and we tried to fill that gap, that authorization gap. How? We support farms not only in management and breeding, but especially in the opening phase of the farm, manuals, procedures, legislative compliance, everything needed to open the farm with complete peace of mind.
And this is the real problem. In fact, getting a chicken coop, installing it, putting chickens inside, and producing eggs is not the hardest part of the job. The biggest problem is being able to start a farm, but above all, knowing what regulations there are. Many times the regulations can even be clear, but you don't know which ones exist, which office to go to, what to present, or how to apply for certain grants. This is the most valuable aspect of this startup. They solve all these problems for you, but why? Why? Because they've been doing it for 20 years. When we first met, I thought I could take advantage of her because it seemed great. However, the model might work well for central and southern Italy because generally there's no problem with the street names like there is in northern Italy. My region is locked down with poultry, precisely because there are very strict regulations regarding the VR law. They even contradicted me on this.
In our misfortune, we have the same strict rules as the areas that have restrictions due to avian flu. So what did we do? We consulted with the local health authority, we sat down at the table with them, and we designed the facility to ensure those standards of welfare and adequacy, which guarantee the suitability of the facility even in an avian flu zone.
Andrea, show me the chicken coop you designed so we can start to see a bit more in detail.
So this is our structure, our mobile chicken coop, mobile.
Why?
Because you can basically attach this directly to the tractor and move it. It's solid. Let's say we put effort into it. Anyway, yes, we designed this type of structure because it needs to be a solid structure which must allow it to be attached directly to the tractor and moved around the field. In this case, we are inside an olive grove.
Because, excuse me, now I see the net because they just introduced the new hens. So the net is there. These are
new hens. Here, basically, the inside of the structure is slatted because it allows the hens' droppings to fall directly onto the ground. Then once you move it, basically in your plot here, it's a fertilization phase.
Excuse me, so getting practical, I see some droppings here. Next week, they'll move the chicken coop.
They collect the droppings, and then there's the possibility to, so I take it.
I move it wherever I want.
Inside the plot, it allows you to fertilize your own.
Here in the olive grove, I see all the pistons since it has to be flat.
This has to be level for rainwater, and in any case, it has to be okay.
Listen, I see the nests right here, right?
These are the external nests, right? Because basically it allows you to collect the eggs directly from outside the structure. Of course,
we can't do it, so we don't see the eggs since you said the hens are young.
These are young hens. They arrived here about a week ago, so they're just starting to lay eggs. Here in the future, you'll find all your eggs, so you won't have to disturb the hens inside. To collect the eggs, you just pick them up directly from the outside.
And there I can basically see the grid, you see. Yes.
This is grated because their droppings fall directly onto the ground. Perfect.
Let me see a bit more, especially inside. I want to check it out. I see the doors, but you want to know why it's automatic, right? Yes, this one.
This one here is the most advanced model because it allows you to remotely open and close the doors, turn on the lights, and control the temperature. Here we also have sensors, let's say for water filling, so for the tanks, and we have sensors for feed filling. They tell you directly if there is, yes, with this you can control everything remotely.
So, I mean, you also did some design work to reduce the human hours, let's say. Yes.
It's all automatic. Let's say, okay.
Well, of course, because basically here you need to have a compartment.
So this is the filter area because of the regulations. The regulations require that you, of course, you must have a filter area because you need to change before entering, before you can go inside the farm.
No, so let's explain. That's why we have the shoe covers.
Exactly. You take all the possible precautions and then you go inside the, let's say, the facility. In this case, as we can see, I'll open it for you. I'll show you.
We won't disturb them too much, but they're only in here right now because, well, it's us, right? We're here and so on. But they're free to go out. They are.
They have free access to, let's say, the outside all day long. Basically, in the early morning, they eat their feed, then the little doors are opened for them. Let's say they roam around all day, and then in the evening, they come back in, though, because...
Basically, they stay above, because below, right? Yes, yes, yes. Why do you go to this one?
Because the regulations require that anyway, the perches, let's say one above the other. They must not allow the droppings from the hens above to fall down.
Hens above, hens below. But they move around. It's done. But now let me ask you why. Well, I saw the solar panels, the water for cleaning that I want to use, yes.
Because we made this one self-sufficient, let's say the structure, because if I want to clean it. The important thing is that we have water available, which we collect from rainwater directly from the gutters. They go into a tank. From there I can connect because we have an inverter. So at 220 volts we can connect the power, we set it up. We also need to set up a pressure washer so you can basically wash with the water.
So this thing is brilliant because you can say it's self-sufficient. This, I mean 220 volts. Of course, because with the pressure washer you can naturally do a cleaning.
It really makes the cleaning job easier.
I mean you do
a lot.
You make them come out completely different and that's it.
Usually they don't stay in here, they stay outside. So now we're outside, they're a bit scared, let's say, but they've come back in here.
Then you were telling me that in this case you have the feeders inside. I mean, it's because of the birds that were coming. Anyway.
There's also, let's say in quotes, the scattering, let's say, of the feed by birds from outside.
Anyway, they can take it, walk around and do that, but you know, it's really well done. Good job, you really did a great...
Beautiful structure, let's say. We really put effort into it. This is a structure completely built by hand.
Let's say perfect. We explained the whole project, but we also said that they are a startup. And today they are doing fundraising rounds on a crowdfunding platform precisely to expand and scale up the whole project. And here, this is where you come into play.
We started this startup in 2022. We spent 3 years testing to see if the project could work, both in the field and in terms of we realized that selling a chicken coop to a small business like those found in Italy is a financial commitment that's hard to sustain unless there's some productive support, community support, or a public grant. So we decided to raise investments to look for investors like agricultural companies who know the sector in order to make a drastic change to the project. We want to build the chicken coops ourselves and rent them out rather than selling them to agricultural companies. This allows agricultural companies to get involved in an interesting project, definitely interesting, but with a much lower business risk. We started the crowdfunding campaign about 15 days ago, and we've already raised 120,000 euros from more than 60 investors, almost all of them agricultural companies. This shows that those who want to invest in the project want to understand it first. We decided to advertise throughout the whole country looking for other agricultural companies that can understand what we are doing. We have surpassed the minimum amount of 100,000 euros, and we still have the opportunity to continue collecting investments for several more days. This will allow allow us not to sell the chicken coops but to build them and rent them to agricultural companies. The more we manage to raise, the more chicken coops we can place throughout the territory. This will ensure that when someone thinks of a quality egg, they'll think of Le Uova di Casa. If you're interested in being part of this, now is the right time. There won't be another opportunity. Investing a minimum amount of 500 euros in the project allows you to become our partner and enter a priority list. Priority for what? When it comes to the placement of new chicken coops, those who are already partners will have priority over those who haven't invested in the project. If you believe in the project, go check out how it works on the website crowfound.me. We are available for any explanation. After 3 years of experience in the field, we can give you some numbers. 240 hens raised outdoors, a production of about 60,000 eggs per year, a minimum price for a quality egg of 50 cents. We have an income of 30,000 euros per year. Let's start from here. From here, we have two options. Buy the chicken coop and then include the depreciation cost as an expense, or rent it in case the chicken coop is rented. Besides this, let's go back to the common expenses. The main expense is buying the hens and buying the feed. We let the farmers freely choose the breed of hens to buy and also the type of feed to use. We suggest some options, but the farmer is otherwise completely free on this matter. Beyond this franchise fee of about 70 cents per hen per month, which includes technical assistance and use of the brand in Italy, we have transportation costs if the companies make home deliveries. After deducting these expenses, we have found that the average monthly income is around 1,200 euros net. Let's go into detail about the franchise fee. What does it include? The franchise fee includes all assistance with national health regulations, a Salmonella manual, an HCCP good practice manual, and the opening SCIA for the farm. We support companies through all the necessary steps regarding health compliance. In addition to this, there is the use of the brand. The brand is associated with a quality production specification that we have created specifically for this type of farm. The specification looks at the type of feed that is given to the hens. The feed must not be GMO, and the standards also cover the minimum outdoor space the hens must have and how many hours they must spend foraging during the day. All of this is guaranteed by the visits that we make during the year to our farms. The field visit is a fundamental step for us because it allows us to follow the farmer throughout the entire breeding and marketing process. It's a moment of discussion where we collect data and support the farmer to see all the difficulties they may encounter during the egg breeding and marketing process.
In summary, what are the young people looking for? They are looking for investors, especially at this stage. I would say 3 different types of investors. The first type is agricultural companies, breeders or future breeders who want to invest now in the project and tomorrow in setting up a chicken coop, so they want to be on a priority list that is not binding. Second type, investors who say, I don't want to set up a chicken coop, but I believe in the project. I think this project can make sense, so I invest in the project by becoming a partner. Third type, a person who invests in the project and is interested in taking home, in the future, eggs produced in this way. Clearly, the more the network expands, the more naturally the number of farmers will grow and will be able to reach every city in Italy, so eggs of great quality. I'll leave the link here in the description for you to check everything out. The business plan and the project are very detailed. It takes a bit of effort because you have to read everything. They did a really great job clearly explaining and specifying everything in detail. A video like this wasn't meant to be completely exhaustive, but to help you understand that there's also an opportunity in this field if you approach it a certain way. I repeat, below there's the website, not just for investing, but first to get informed. Read carefully, ask questions, and then invest. In my opinion, it's the smartest choice, especially over the next few days. If you're watching this video after the crowdfunding has already closed, that's because it ends in the next few days. Keep in mind that on the same website I'm leaving below in the description, you can see the chicken coops. If the crowdfunding went well, maybe you'll find some rental options, or in any case, you'll see that one way or another, this company will still be around in the years to come. Because it's a model that can work. That said, all that's left for me is to say goodbye. Below are the comments, and I'll tell the guys to take a look in case there are any questions. See you in the next video. Bye everyone.